So yeah, here we go. Namaste and welcome everybody. Wishing you all a very happy Hindu or rather Bharatiya Navvarsh, a very happy Gudi Padma, and this is also the Chaitra Navratri, right? So on this special occasion when we are celebrating our indigenous Indic Bharatiya Navvarsh, Aditya Dhar, the much celebrated director in the Indian cinema who has changed, who has transformed the Indian cinema, the people, the way the people look at Indian cinema, has come with an amazing sequel, an amazing masterpiece, a sequel to Dhurandhar 1, which is Dhurandhar Revenge, Dhurandhar 2. What could be a better gift, to the Indian populace than, producing this amazing masterpiece, amazing job, Aditya Dhar. What a script that he has written. What a confidence when you will watch the movie, you'll get to realize that it really needs one, the intelligence that he is blessed with, that he came up with such a wonderful script, and then it also takes a lot of guts and gumption to actually execute it, what you have written, to actually execute it in two terms. One, like the violence, the rawness, everything is so blunt, it is the movie which comes in the category of 18 plus, adult movie. It is not in that sense, but yeah, in the sense of the words that have been used there, the abusive language, not the sex or lust per se. And secondly, when it comes to the politics, the ideology, the narrative war that go on, and the political correctness, oh my god. So he hasn't been even slightly politically correct in the movie. He has shown the things in a very confident manner. It might sound like it supports a particular political establishment, the Modi government, so to say. Some might say it. I mean, the people from the left camp, after watching the movie, gonna need the Bernol in large quantities. But when it comes to the cinematography, when it comes to the movie making aspect, when it comes to the execution of the script, the screenplay, the selection of the cast, and the role of the cast, the actors, how they actually play their role, the kind of music that you puts in a movie, the background music, the dialogues and how they are delivered, it was just amazing. It was par excellence. It was par excellence. If you do not know about the movie, then let me tell you, like, it revolves around the politics of Karachi and of course the politics of Pakistan. In Karachi is a small area which is Layari, and it actually controls the political aspect, the political dynamics. It decides the political landscape of Karachi, which in turn will decide the political landscape, the political picture of Pakistan. And enters, here takes the entry, who? An Indian spy, an Indian intelligence person who is none other than the all muscular Ranveer Singh. Oh my god, the realistic acting that he has done is just amazing. In the first part, what we saw was how Ranveer Singh poses as Hamza Ali, enters there, lands on the Pakistani soil, and there meets some already existing Indian spy, who gives him the tips and further directs him, and how he takes the entry, how he makes a place in the local gangs, because there was a apparent lack of law and order in Pakistan at that point of time, which I think would prevail or exist even today, but it was more in those times. And then the gangs, the local uh, leaders, Dakkats, the Rahman Dakkat and his father, and the rival, the Pappu, Arshad Pappu, and all, they were having a lot of dominance and power. And it is said that they were running a sort of parallel government, which didn't follow the rules, regulations, law made by the central Pakistani government. So these were the times when the Indian spy goes there and somehow makes his place in the local gang, and then shifts and then replaces the very gang leader that he once aspired to meet. Even I'm talking about the Rahman Dakat, and he kills Rahman Dakat, and he gets to his place. And then now in the part 2, it has been shown that how does he further rise to glory, to power, to achievement, and how does he avenge the deaths of many citizens in India owing to the terror attacks, various terror attacks. He avenges the scars, the wounds that the Mother India suffered because of the attacks, the brutalities that were inflicted by the Pakistani terrorists, who were, of course, backed by the syndicate networks operating in Pakistan, involving the large corporate groups, who are making the fake or counterfeit currency and then pumping it through the various channels operating in the border areas like Nepal, in Punjab, and the drug cartels operating there, and the and many more. I just cannot express you in words. Let me come to the beginning of the movie. But before that, let me tell you something amazing that happened yesterday, because the people were so fucking excited about this movie that the houses were already full when it comes to the booking the show. It was supposed to be released on 19th of March, but it was somehow released on 18th of March, a day before. And when I was booking the ticket on 18th of March, I saw that the major theaters, at least in Bhopal, the place where I come from, the Cinepolis, PVR, Inox, they were already full. The tickets were selling at 3,000 to 4,000 for the VIP seats, which in Bhopal, a place not so big, is a rate which is slightly high, higher that I have seen before. And somehow I managed to grab two tickets for 9:30 show in PM, because the shows which were scheduled for 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., they were delayed. They were shifted to evening, and this happened in most of the parts of the country. And in south, like, they were altogether cancelled. They weren't not only delayed, but they were cancelled. The shows that were supposed to be released in dubbed languages, say Kannada or Tamil, right? So, but in the Hindi heartland, where the show was supposed to be released in Hindi, even it showed delay, and some of the shows were cancelled. And unfortunately, my own show was cancelled. And thankfully, I got the refund. But no, that was not it. I went managing the time. Just rescheduling my on time. I managed to reach there on time, and I find that the show stands cancelled. That 10:30 show stands cancelled, and I asked them, like, why is this rush for so many of people standing outside. Then he told me that one show has been shown. One show has been played on at 5 p.m., and after that the another show was expected to start at 9:30 p.m., but it hasn't started yet, and these are the people waiting for the 9:30 p.m. And for the show that was scheduled for 10:30 p.m., you will get the refund. You can kindly go now. And yeah, that is what it is. It So I went with a friend of mine. So I basically, what I did, that I somehow, because of my convincing and persuading skills, the way of talking, I'm not boasting or bragging about myself, but this is actually what I did. Almost everybody there in the show were the people. Everybody was who had actually booked the 9:30 show or bought the ticket at the in the theater only. But I entered there with the ticket, 10:30 ticket, and I watched the entire show. Though I sat in the front, there were some seats vacant, like a couple of them, so I sat in the front. And this was the first time when I watched the movie sitting in the front, but it was okay. At least I watched the movie, and I got the refund as well. I wasn't expecting that I would get the refund, because the money that you put there in this movie is worth it totally. So this is something like I guess which the directors, the producers, or whosoever responsible for this, either the uh, chains like Cinepolis, PVR, the theater people, they should look into it. They were like, we haven't got the movie yet, so how can we play it? So I don't know, like people put so much of money, so much of expectations, and when you like do not show the movie to them, then it is disheartening, right? But somehow I managed to grab a seat. I went inside. The movie starts. Actually, this is basically the sequel of the Dhurandhar one, but this also shows the rise of Ranveer Singh, who has been portrayed as Hamza Ali there in the Pakistan when he goes there, changing his identity, you know. But before him, what he was, we saw a glimpse in the first part as well, that he had his own life in Pakistan, sorry, in Punjab. He was a Sikh, and he was shown in his field, you know, and he had a family. So something very tragic happened with him, that turned him into a person with no mercy, a person with a monstrous traits. So this is what happens in the first scene, in the opening scene of the movie, when we see Ranveer Singh turning into a metamorphing into a machine gun and killing the people, shedding the blood. What were the reasons for that? You'll have to watch the movie. I'll not give much spoilers there. And this is how he comes in the sight of the Indian army, where the Indian army decides, like he was no ordinary person. He was somebody who was already aspiring to get into the army, somebody with the blood of nationalism, patriotism, and sacrifice flowing in his nerves. So army actually catches the sight of him, and then approaches him and then trains him. In the trailer you must have shown a scene where the Major Sanyal, who is actually Ajit Dobal, interacting with um Gurpreet, the name in the movie of Ranveer Singh. So there this is the place like where his journey starts from, and he is trained very hard. Some of the like training scenes, like how the training was imparted to him, were shown in the movie in the end, not in the beginning. That is why it felt like it has jumped, from the protagonist, shown in a very vulnerable what should I say, situation, to where he suddenly out of nowhere lands into Pakistan, that we had already seen in the first part. So he was of course given the training. So the movie is very fast paced, it is not a slow or dragging movie, and it has a lot into it. The massiveness of the movie, the comprehensiveness of the movie can be understood from the very fact that the movie involves some of the top names and faces of not only Pakistan but also of India, like when it comes to the security agencies in India. And it also very well incorporates some of the prominent events that took place in India, apart from the terrorist attack, to decisions like the demonetization and operations like Uri, and some other scenes, where Modi ji was also shown, addressing the people. And when it comes to the Pakistan, then it shows the Prime Minister of Pakistan, of course, the local MP, MLAs, and also the SP Chaudhry. The role has been performed by Sanjay Dutt in an amazing manner. Sanjay Dutt is already a celebrated actor, so he has performed his role quite well. Coming to the role of one another person whose name I am unable to recall. Just wait a minute for that. Rakesh Bedi as Jamil Jamali. Oh my God, superb acting. I mean, it is not only about action; it is also about comedy, and comedy cannot leave the room when Jamil enters into the room. And amazing, what a personality he is! Like each and every time when he opens his mouth, I mean. We cannot hold our laugh, and it's so lively, vivid, and full of life. The character is it's just amazing. And the character has the all the characters have very well learned, internalized the local accent, prevalent there in the specific area of Pakistan, be it the Sindh, be it the Balochistan. And so that is something really amazing. And the movie has got not only some comedy aspect of it, which I told you, comedy might not be a right word to use here, but yeah, it makes us laugh. And it has got a component of romance as well. The chemistry or the bonding between the Hamza Ali and the daughter of this politician Jamil, um, in the movie, like how she falls in love with him, and how they eventually decide to marry, and how they have a small baby as well. And how she gets to know about him, sorry for the spoiler. And then what happens, the twist, the suspenses will keep you hooked, will keep you gripped, will will not take your attention off, and you cannot actually you know miss to you cannot actually afford to miss this movie. You cannot actually not praise it anytime, and all throughout the movie for the entire 4 hour. Let me tell you, it's one of the longest Indian movies. Seldom do we see the movies going beyond 3 hours, and it is like almost 4 hour movie. And I watched it. The movie started at around 11 and went on till around 3. And I was supposed to fall asleep in case if it was some other movie, because but I was awake, totally awake, totally in shocked and awe, in surprise and horror. And what to tell about the ending of the movie? Oh my god, in the middle is all the power dynamics, politics, the drug cartel that we see, and manufacturing of the illegal currency, fake Indian currency notes, and how they are pumped in India through various channels, like through the border routes. And the linkages with some of the people here in India. For example, the Atik has been shown. Atik is the same gangster, or a local gangster with the terror links, with the underworld links, and with the Pakistan, from UP, from Uttar Pradesh, who was nabbed by the police and was shot by some random people, outside the hospital or outside the police station some years back. Came to the limelight. So the like how his links were established with the people operating from Pakistan. That was something amazing. So in one of the scene, what we see is that the people some other people also went there as spy before him, like before Hamza went there, and how Hamza meet them. So in some of the scenes, it becomes very emotional, because they show like what is the cost of becoming a spy for the country. It takes the balls of steel, in order to go there, hiding your identity, and surviving there in that environment. It is so freaking difficult. So what is the cost of that? You'll have to pay the emotional and psychological cost, and it raises so many philosophical questions, so many moral questions, some ethical questions, and the ethical dilemmas. Hamza had to kill his very own person, who trained him, who guided him, who directed him, who actually nurtured him there in Pakistan. The person who had entered into Pakistan much before him as a spy, and was was actually uh, living a life of a small shopkeeper there, a chai seller there, but actually he was a spy. So how Hamza had to kill him with his own hands, with his own gun, it becomes very, sometimes it becomes very poignant, very emotional. And am I not touching any scene? Yeah, the last scene, coming to the ending. Oh my god, how subtle, how touching. The ending moved the viewers. It didn't end on, like, the movie started on a very violent note, filled with the adrenaline pumping starting, wherein the runway turns into a machine gun, and operates like a total insane person there, filled with rage, with the desire to avenge the wounds inflicted on his sister. And this was in the first scene. And then the movie, you know operates in the land of Pakistan only. So of course there we will see the internal conflicts, the gang wars, and the smoke, the blood all over, and the crime taking place in the most apparent, most brute, and the most obvious manner possible. And that all we saw there in the land of Pakistan. And apart from that, in the end, what we see, ending is relatively slow, ending is relatively simple, but very intense. It is very intense. The protagonist, which who is Ranveer, who was basically Gurpreet, who became Hamza Ali there on the Pakistani soil, he returns after a very long time to his family. And the starting was also very emotional. It raises the question on the life, on the existence, on the moral, social responsibility of a man. It is centered around man, like what are the responsibilities of a man, what are the dilemma faced by a man, and when he like is not only accountable, responsible to his family, but also becomes to the nation, to the larger family, to the bigger family, to the bigger ambition and mission and vision, like that of nation. When he is also accountable, responsible to the mother India, not only his own mother. You see the dilemma that goes in his mind, the trade-offs there, the trade-offs. He cannot carry both simultaneously, hand in hand, fulfill both responsibilities, the one towards his family, the another towards his motherland. And he'll have to be content with disappointing either one, like at least one of them. He cannot satisfy both of them. So this has been portrayed really well for the people with the taste in cinema, in the subtle cinema, can grasp the last scene, which is very emotionally charged. Underlying that has various moral, ethical, social, philosophical questions centered around the life of a man, the life of a true man, and of course of a soldier, a martyr, an army man with the duties towards the nation, right? So how they have to sacrifice their own selves, their own families, their own worldly attachments, their duties, responsibilities towards their family members, own home. And sometimes the movies are made on them, uh, other times they go unrecognized, they get lost, in the history. So this is what happens. So anyways, but the kudos, hats off to the director Aditya Dhar, who has done a brilliant job, producing this masterpiece. And on this auspicious occasion of the Hindu Navvarsh, today is Gudi Parma, and of course the Chaitra Navratri starting also. So this is a big tribute to the motherland, to Bharat Mata. This is a big tribute of any patriot or of any nationalist person, that if you can, direct and produce such a masterpiece that is not only entertaining, but that teaches something, that shows something, something real, something genuine, you know, the life of a true son, true son of Bharat Mata on the alien soil, on the neighboring soil, which was of course once a part of the greater Bharatvarsha only, but now that the soil that is very very poisonous, full of poison, full of hostility and enmity for Bharatvarsh, for not the Bharatvarsh, for Bharat, present day Bharat. So that has been portrayed in an immaculate and an impeccable manner. What a direction, Aditya Dar! What a direction! What a screenplay! What a script! What a masterpiece you have made! That the Indian cinema is going to remember for years and years to come. You know, that is it. You must watch this movie along with your family. Yeah, it is an 18 plus movie, but only the abusive words and violence is there, which I think you should not fear from. Uh, it's a must watch. What the least we can do. You know, the people have sacrificed their entire life. They know that they are gonna die, but they are going on the borders. You know, the brave hearts, the brave sons of Mother India. They are not going on the border, they are going across the border, hiding their identity, knowing that this is a hell and they are gonna lose their life any moment, but they are going there in Pakistan. They are going there. What we are doing nothing. We are just earning the money for ourselves. You know, we are satiating our own carnal, flashy, worldly pleasures, desires, and whatnot. What we can do is at least watch and at least support him. Watch his movie, support him, give him support, you know, praise him, just spread the word on the social media, on the status, so as to weave this narrative, this real narrative, that yeah, we are the true sons of Bharat Mata and we have pride in our land, we have pride in armed forces, we have pride in our nation. And with this spirit, surely he will come up with more such amazing and spectacular movies and will keep us entertained. So that is it with this. Garvit Chan signing off. Jai Hind, Vande Matram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.